Well, we've done it. Here it is. This is episode 1000. It's kind of short and sweet and some little throwbacks. So let's have fun and go. And here we are. Yes, it's the Arizona White Mountain Podcast. Time for the community shout again. And of course, special day here. I'm going to have a couple special guests, starting off with Mark Cortez. How are you, sir?
I am good, and congratulations on the cat's out of the bag, right? I
Yeah, it is totally, yes.
1,000 podcasts.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's that's a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we banged them out, you know. These 15-minute TikTok things, they just go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a guest on a lot of podcasts, and they're a fun thing to do for a lot of people. And then the novelty kind of wears off, and then 50 or 60 in, they kind of, hey, whatever happened to your podcast? Oh, I didn't have time for it. So 1,000 is kudos to you.
So having you on today, because of course you've been around, you've been on boats, you've been in airplanes, you've been all over the place.
Well, the last 18 months I've been not around. With COVID. But yeah, I mean, I'm a frequent, I just, right before COVID hit, and by the way, the moral of this story is be careful what you ask for, because I had just flown 3 million miles on American Airlines. Whew. And I sat down for dinner with my wife, and I said, man, you know what? I'd been on the road like 82 out of 90 days. And I said, boy, it'd be great to have a little bit of time off.
You asked, and the universe delivered.
Yes. A couple months later, she's like, isn't there anywhere you can go?
So there you have it, Mark Cortez's fault. So
yeah, that's my fault.
So anyway, I brought you on because, you know, you've been out and around and everything, and you're finally ready to settle down, it seems like, and you just officially, you've always had this statement, I think it was, let me see if I got it right, that you live in the valley, but your home was in the White Mountains?
I reside in the valley.
That's what it was.
But I live in the White Mountains. And we've had a place up here since '01. Love it up here. Would spend as much time as we could. And we were juggling a place up here and a place in Carefree, which I love, my favorite part of the Phoenix area. And the time just was, with no income for 18 months and the housing market going crazy, I just finally... I told this realtor, I said, I don't want to sell. And he goes, well, if you sold, here's what your house would be worth. And I said, I'll move tomorrow. And we closed last week, and it was a nightmare getting up here. It was like, if you watch the Beverly Hillbillies in reverse, where they leave the big house and go to the mountains, that's what we did. But it was, we love it up here. It's great.
Awesome. So talk to me a little bit about the change of pace and things like that, and why you love it up here in the Arizona White Mountains.
Well, I think it's just you just summed it up. It's a change of pace. It's a little less stressful. I always joke that there's a time difference. People don't know this, but there's a time difference between Phoenix and the White Mountains.
There is.
In Phoenix right now, it's 10:10, and in the White Mountains, it's 1984. And I mean that in a good way. We love the weather up here. My wife, Jackie, grew up in Florida, so she loves the novelty of the snow. This will be our first full winter up here. So, but yeah, we love everything about it. And the other thing is, and all your viewers know this, you're not that far away from, if you do have to go to Phoenix for any big deal, 3.5 hours, you're anywhere you want to be.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, well, anything else you want to tell people? And you're going to be here for the celebration Thursday night.
I'm going to be here for
it's
the big
tonight. You watch this on Thursday, so yeah.
For the big wingding here to celebrate officially the 1,000th. Yeah, I'm still. It's so funny. I moved to the White Mountains officially last week, and now I'm getting work constantly on the road, and it's like, oh great, now I'm only 4 hours away from the airport.
There you go.
But we love it up here. I would say what most of your viewers.
Yep.
Well, then you guys know I'm
We got
preaching.
a majority here, and then we got a lot actually outside of it. So average about over the 1,000 episodes, about 25,000 listeners per episode. So
Wow.
Go ahead and do the math on that one.
That's awesome. That's friendly. These folks know. The people up here are friendly. You pass them on the road, they wave. They use all their fingers when they wave.
Sometimes, but
except for you.
You betcha. Once again, Mark Cortez, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob. Congratulations, and keep up all the great things you're doing, and pleasure to be a part of the 1000th.
Okay, not too many guests today, simply because we wanted to make it simple, clean, and when I get to 1,000, I want to make it easy. So I've got with me a really good friend, Walt Blackman.
Good to see you.
How are
all.
you, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm really proud of what you've done.
Thank you.
Yes.
So you, of course, are our state representative for LD6.
Yeah, LD6.
But you're doing something cool. You're running for United States Congress.
Congressional District 1.
Yeah. And, I in all the times I've never really endorsed, but I'm going to throw behind you. I want to see you take that.
Wow,
I want to
thank
see
you.
that happen.
Thank you. I appreciate
and
that.
I won't really go out on any other endorsements and things like that.
Well, thank you.
But
well, I have to earn your endorsement. it only took like 4 years.
it's not like you. It's not like you needed it, but
It only took 4 years to earn your endorsement.
But officially, I mean, it's kind of obvious that I support you,
Yeah.
and you've done a lot for LD7,
Yes.
and you're not a representative.
Yes.
So,
yes. LD7 has 2 or 3 Democrat representatives and a senator, and they have done 0. For
Yeah,
this.
man, and I don't see them at all. So you've been.
Well,
here.
they live in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Of course, because it all wraps around and ends up there anyway.
Yes,
So
yes.
we were at the redistricting thing the other day, talked about that. And the one thing I said to me, they said something about communities or tied to communities.
Communities of interest.
Communities of interest, and I said, really, school districts would be a good way to divide
Yes,
that out.
and that is a great idea. I mean, we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
That's a great idea.
And that clearly identifies. And I get they have to be equal population-wise, but I think they can figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Those districts are always going to be huge. I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. But if they're huge because they're a community of interest, that's great. Instead of this little sliver of Phoenix and then boom.
Yeah, yeah.
So, he's over there doing selfies. So we're going
He's
to
doing
We're gonna do
selfies.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of it.
Well, you got to have a nickname for him.
Yeah.
You can't use Mr. Producer because
Garrett.
that's
Garrett.
Garrett.
And we're going to talk about Garrett in a minute because I'm going to talk about the history
Yes.
of this podcast.
You'll be on later? Okay.
But just thank you for everything you do.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for your friendship.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I get that 54th
Well, actually,
pin up there because of that.
we're starting a new tradition. I don't know if you know that yet.
Okay.
Did I tell you that
You
the
did
other day?
tell me something
yeah,
about it,
it's the lucky pen tradition. And every pen that I get at the end of the session, I give it to you. And that's going to include...
So I really want him to be in Congress.
Yeah, that's going to include that pin when I get it from Congress. That's going to be our tradition.
Awesome.
But you do a lot of work that people don't see, and you don't get credit, and you do a lot of work around the community.
Thank you. I started this show because I wanted to be able to give people the voice, and I wanted to bring them on and let them be the voice, not me just behind the camera talking. I interface because it makes it easier for people to tell their story and get their information out.
And it helps that you're very intelligent.
So stop.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of people out there that probably don't need to be on air, but you're doing great.
But I love this area. I love this community. I grew up in a small town. I posted episode 6 up just last night, and it's funny because it really grounded back. It told my story about where I grew up and stuff like that, and I was really talking about the same things.
Yeah.
Not bashing. Be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah.
And
But smart policy.
that's
And that's what we need.
just a good way to live.
Smart, yeah, exactly. Smart policy. So, I'm running for Congressional District 1. Obviously, very conservative. As you know, sometimes people have said I'm too conservative, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. But the way our country is, I mean, you're in touch with what's going on. You've got your finger on the pulse of America, and with everything that's going on, to include the new Afghanistan issue that we're seeing a lot of people wake up.
Yeah.
They got the woke culture out there on the left. I think that woke is getting flipped, and they are seeing where our country is headed, and the downward spiral of their failed policies in D.C. and the AOCs and the Pelosi's. Their failed policies have put this country not only in financial peril, but also have put us in a position to where now it's a clear and present danger, the issues that are going on at the border and what happened in Afghanistan.
If you listen to Patriot Edition, the one thing that I push there is hashtags. Is a hashtag, and it's basically term limits for Congress.
Oh yeah, and I signed a term limits for Congress.
And he'll actually support it.
Yep,
He won't
I will.
roll back
I'll
on
actually
it.
come home. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, Thank you again.
Congratulations on your 1,000th.
Appreciate that.
Great job, and appreciate you, and God bless you and your family.
Okay, so yeah, 1,000 episodes, 7 years ago. I get notes because I had. It's kind of an interesting day for me. And this post on Thursday, and we've always done that with the community shout where it would post on a different day than it actually was recorded, just to give me time to edit it. And of course, then I added in a guy that's really been a lot of help to edit, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But 7 years. 7 years ago, I had the idea of, okay, I'll go out on my own and do my own things. It started with Get on Target, which was actually the hub show, and they're at 350 episodes. So 1,000 episodes is just for the Arizona White Mountain podcast, which used to be Birdman on the Mountain. So we changed the name a couple years ago with the Arizona White Mountain Partnership. Patriot Edition, which is now a year and a half strong, is 170 episodes. I'd had other veteran shows. We'd done 2 different iterations of that. Each had about 60 shows each. Summit Healthcare's, which we'll talk about in a minute, is 165 episodes. But we started, like I said, in July of 2014, actually posting podcasts. And that was before the Birdman on the Mountain. The first sponsors I want to recognize, and these people have been along the entire ride, were Maverick Magazine. They started in November of 2014. Then the Poor Station came on, along with Solterra, New Horizons Physical Therapy, which is actually the building I'm in now. And actually right before that was this guy right here, Garrett, with MOL Films.
Yeah.
And, it was basically, I did trade and barter and done a lot of trade and barter. That's how this works, give and get kind of things. I do that with the restaurants to promote them and stuff like that. And you did, I think, website stuff for me. And then I was finally it was really cool the day I finally had enough budget that I said, hey, Garrett, would you like me to come over and do some stuff for you? And you were like, no.
Sounds like a lot of work, almost like a weekly thing.
And then boom, now he is here and helped me. We went from there. Summit Healthcare started 5 years ago in 2017. Do the Summit Healthcare podcast I talked about. And then we had in 2018 get the contract with Pinetop-Lakeside. And they're one of the primary sponsors of the Arizona White Mountain podcast. That's why we cover them a lot. We do marketing for them and create specialty films for them. And Garrett's a huge part of that, as well as covering their town council meetings, which are sometimes fun and sometimes long. But anyways.
At least we get candy.
And then, yeah. And it's funny because you go way back when, you'll see images of Tony Alba when he came up on the mountain. So the people that come on the show, I always wanted it to be about the people, not about me. But then ultimately, I get a lot of questions. There's 2 questions.
So yeah, I'm gonna start our frequently asked questions segment of the show, and number 1 is, so why do they call you Birdman?
Yeah, so he actually did the video. If you go online, he did the video when he was at Shillow TV about why they call me Birdman. Birdman comes from motorcycling. When I started the forums for Southwest Rides, which I mentioned in episode 6, oh, you're over here, okay. When I started that forum, I needed a name other than Rob Hefner because the company I worked for, if they saw Rob Hefner start popping up in a forum, they're gonna be like, what are you starting another, you working for somebody else besides us? And it was just motorcycling, it was just to go out and ride, so I needed a name. I went out riding with my friends as we were talking about getting the forum started, and birds flying to me. Well, I thought they flew into everybody. Turns out, no, not so much. So at about the 5th bird strike, went, that's it, you're Birdman. Stuck with that moniker, made it Birdman Moto, which I did motorcycle training, trained tens of thousands of people how to learn, started them on their journey of riding, did high performance riding with Total Control, and then just from there went into radio and decided to carry the name since it was useful. That's how the wings got added to the logo. A friend of mine, Rob Granger out of New York, did that for me. And here we are as I started that. So I used the name Birdman since 1999. I've had Birdmans of other varieties get a hold of me to tell me that I was using their trademark, and they found out that no, they were using mine. So we've worked that out between a rapper, basketball player, a surfer, and a guy that flies with his own wings. But anyways, yeah, so that's how I get the name Birdman. The other question, which you may or may not know,
my frequently asked question was, what's the second question?
Is what's your name? Because most people know me as Birdman. And it's Rob. So, yeah.
Oh,
Now you know.
nice, cool. So I don't have to call you Birdman anymore?
Nope, you can call me Rob. So there you go. But
Nice.
I'll answer everything. Just don't call me late to dinner.
Well, thank you so much for letting me be part of the journey, part of the ride, and thankfully I haven't got hit by any birds on the ride. So,
Yeah, not yet. Just wait. But we're just starting. We're not going anywhere. So tonight, if you're not doing anything and you're watching this morning, 5 p.m. to 8, we're doing a business after hours right here at the new studio location. That's 4800 South White Mountain Road in Sholo. It's Suite A. If you can't figure out which door entrance it is, it's going to be kind of obvious. So it'll be the one that's open and has Birdman on it and everybody going in and out. But that'd be the easiest way to find it. You know, and if I don't see you around town, because they say this all the time, I'll catch you right here on the web. Birdman. Hey, it's Birdman. Hey, it's Birdman. Birdman. Hey, it's Birdman. Hey, it's Birdman. You're hanging out at Birdman Media Studios. Might notice just a little bit of a difference today. The mics are gone. Also with Sholo TV, hanging out here at the White Mountain Independent. New studio. Hey, there's some changes coming. More cool things, lots of stuff. And then here we are hanging out. We're hanging out. We're hanging out. I'm Birdman, and I want to remind everyone, if I don't see you around town, I'll catch you right here. On the web. 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 If I don't see you around town, I'll catch you right here on the web. It's a wrap.